Let's take a look at things common to all blocks. So we'll continue to use our simple web page from introduction. Let's take a look at the promo block, and let's hide another one. And here we see directly on the section, on promo block, we define customizer section, and each section needs unique ID and it needs a title. And if we take a look at the customizer in WordPress, we see here is our section with the name we gave it. And then section has a couple of customizer controls, and we can see them here, like for example background image. And background image, here we add it with add customizer control action. And by the way, all these actions are in customizer section in WP panel. So here again we have to give unique ID to every control, and then we also give it a name. Setting type is usually theme mode, so it means that this setting is connected with the theme. So if we change the theme, this value will not be available on another theme. And for images we use control type media, MIME type is image, and we have to tell WordPress in which sections of customizer this control will be shown. So in our case this is the ID of the section we created for this block. So now we defined section, we defined the control, but now we also have to use the control value. And for that we add attachment image background action to this element, and here it has property customizer theme mode, and we enter the ID of our background image control. So this connects everything together, and when we change the image, it will set it as the background for this element. And then if we look further, we have like H1, and again we define customizer control on H1. So in this case this is the title, control type is text. We can also use text area to have more space for writing. Show in section, it's again the ID of our customizer section. And then again, now we define the control, but we also have to use it, and we use display theme mode action, and here we give the ID of the control, and we say that the value of this control should replace the content of this element of H1. And we do the same for H2 and for the button. But button doesn't only have a label, it also has a link URL. So for that we define a second customizer control with this ID. It's text shown in section blocks promo tree, and we use it with the action theme mode to attribute. And theme mode is the ID of our control, and what it will do, it will replace href attribute. So if we look at the generated PHP code for the button. Here we see href is set to the value of customizer control with this ID, and the label of the button is set to the value of this customizer control. And these are all the functions that will be automatically generated by Pinegrow and stored in functions PHP. So that's all the code for defining settings and controls. We can take a look at the code for the whole section. Here is the image. We get the image again from the theme mode control, and then we display it with background image, inline style. Then these are titles, the button, and all the code for the customizer controls and sections generated by Pinegrow. One more thing to mention. These IDs of customizer sections and controls have to be unique. So if we would put another block, same block on the page, so now we have two customizers for these two controls would clash. So what we have to do, we have to manually update these IDs. So let's call it B or whatever. So that they are unique. Otherwise the blocks, the second block will not work. It will show the same content like the first block, and that doesn't make a lot of sense. So in such cases you have to go through actions where controls and sections are defined and change the IDs to unique values. Let's try if we were successful, and also change the background so that we can tell the two apart. Okay, looks okay. So we have services and content to 1B, and let's select clients. Okay, so we are able to have different settings for both blocks, even though they are same, by making IDs unique. And while knowing this, it's not necessary to use WordPress blocks. I believe it's a good idea to know how things are put together, what is happening in the background, because you can use same approach on your other projects in different situations. And also if something goes wrong, you will know how to find and fix the problem.